Hey y'all, it's me, Curly K, and I'm here today to. I guess I want to chit chat a little bit. Just want to, run my mouth a little bit. Um, I think from looking at Twitter, one thing. Twitter is like my new favorite thing right now. Like I don't be on no other social medias right now. I just be on Twitter, reading commentary about shows because I think it's interesting as fans. We get to talk with other people who are fans. And, we get to be like, oh, girl, really? I didn't think about that. Oh, girl. Like, I like that. So, one thing that I saw on Twitter the last couple of days, and this is in terms with All American Homecoming. One thing that I noticed online was that there's a conspiracy theory on who framed Simone. So, I'm going to tell you who I think did it and why I think they did it. I was reading comments, and one particular comment stuck out to me. And my good sis said that they think Thea did it because Thea got up and left at the second inning during the game. And everybody else was at the game and she was gone. And then after the game is when Coach Lonnie texts Simone to get to my office. And Simone gets to the office and Auntie is there, but she is there in an administrative capacity. So, I was talking to my husband and I was like, as a former athlete, I'm pretty well versed with the whole testing and, I know about, stuff like that. And then I also got my degree in sports medicine. And so I did a little research on cortisone. And with cortisone, it is a type of a steroid, but it's not a performance enhancing steroid. And according to my research, if a person was to get drug tested, cortisone would not come up and cause a test to be positive. Now, that's what I read when I researched. So, unless there's something now that they are adding to cortisone, I don't understand why Simone's test will come back positive. And the reason why I'm saying Simone is because Simone's test came back positive. Now, from the beginning, when Damon first asked Thea about that mark on her arm on episode 2 or 3, I was like, Thea being weird. And it's in terms to that shot on her arm, that mark on her arm, I was like, Thea is either taking steroids or she doing some kind of experimental thing on her arm to where she's trying something because she want to get back on court, right? So then I was just like, okay, well, if Damon finds out that Thea is taking shots or doing anything, he's going to have to distance himself just strictly because of the matter, because he's one of the star athletes on the Princeton baseball team. He was an MLB top recruit or draft pick, and that could cost Princeton baseball their whole program just after their whole program is on the up and up and on the mend because of the whole scandal with Coach Shaw. So I'm just like, it's a lot at risk with Thea, with Thea taking these shots. So then we see Thea meeting Rome, and he's talking to her, telling her, oh, well, I took X, Y, and Z cortisone shots when I got injured, and it helped me get to where I am. So apparently, Rome is either a manager on the team or he's on the Princeton men's tennis team. And so she's like, no, I'm not going to take no more shots, because her and Damon talked about it according to like Damon said in the episode. We talked about it. We decided that we're not gonna take no shots. And then she was like, okay, yeah, I'm not gonna do it. But then Simone wins Player of the Week for Bringston in their conference, and now Thea's jealous because she wants to be back on the court. That also reminds me and takes me back to the end of season 1 when Thea was like, I'm coming for you. Now, I thought that Simone and Thea had gotten to a place of peace after the threat when Simone gave Thea the advice, and they were on speaking terms now, but they won't like what they used to be, you know, when she was trying friendship, you know. So I'm like, okay, how is all of this becoming a thing now? Because I think, and this is just me, I think Rome and Thea are the two main culprits of the whole switching of the P. I know, matter of fact, I think it's Rome, and here's why. Rome went to Thea and was like, oh, well, you gonna let her win Player of the Week? You gonna let her win Player of the Week? And she was just like, oh, that's nothing. That's light. I've won Player of the Week multiple times in a row. But he was like, but that was then. This is now. She's moving up the ladder or whatever like that. And so then she thought about it and she didn't say nothing else. I think Rome knew that those tests were coming up. And the same way he was sticking around, which I don't know how bro was getting cortisone. Like, where do you just get cortisone from that you can be injecting it into yourself at any given moment? I don't know, but that's already a red flag for me. And the fact that you trusted him to put this substance in your body, not knowing what it was, and that he was telling you that it was cortisone, but it could have been steroids and you not know. But let's just not go there, okay? Let's just stay on, just stay on task, and then we can go there. That he probably went in a room after they took the samples, and they were probably waiting on the samples to be sent off, and he probably went in there and switched Simone's pee with Thea's pee, but he probably called Thea or texted Thea or something, and Thea left during the second inning to go and meet Rome, and he probably told her what he did, but she probably is not going to say anything, which makes her an accomplice to what happened. Because there's no way that we ain't seen Simone do any type of medicine or anything this whole show, and now all of a sudden she testing positive for a banned substance. And the crazy thing is, cortisone is mainly used for pain, but it does have its effects on like the cartilage around the situation. It could cause inflammation. It could cause infection. It could do any of that. So you let somebody who you don't know like that stick you with a whole needle. We don't know where them needles came from, and injecting you with this cortisone. And then the thing is, I don't think I know Thea was so bogged down in her mind about trying to come back and the pressures of being a high performing athlete. But when Damon said your mood has been a little all over the place, you've had really high highs and really low lows, that kind of gave me the thing, oh, okay, sis might be on steroids. Because Thea always has had like a temperament, but like she been real like raw lately. Like she been really like lately, like very patience, very thin, walking off all the time. Like she would walk off, but Damon would be able to like reel her in and kudos to Damon, because Damon been real patient with Thea. And like, everybody on campus knew that they was together. That's my whole thing. I just hope that her, whatever it comes up that she did, because, oh God, I just got so many thoughts. Just so many thoughts. Let me just get my mind together, because you know how they say, like, things happen and you need to watch who you associate yourself with, or the people you are who you hang around. And it's just like, if, for example, if Thea was doing that, and if she was taking steroids and not knowing, and then she's been around Damon, I don't know if the story could go that way, if the writers could go that way. But typically, just like how, for example, if you think back when Coach Marcus' teammate came and was talking about, I think I'm gonna tell my truth, Coach Marcus was like, why would you do that? Because if you do that, that could open up the door for them to ask other people on the team were they doing it. Same reason why Ralph, the reporter Ralph, ended up coming back to Coach Marcus and was like, so you mean to tell me he came out and was taking steroids, but you don't know who else on the team was taking them, or you didn't take none yourself? That's exactly what I mean by that. So we already been down this road with Marcus and PEDs. And so the same thing could be, so you mean to tell me you was going with Thea and you didn't know that she was on steroids? It could be a situation like that. Even though Damon did not know and that she was taking cortisone. But I'm just saying, it could be that. And then there's a whole conversation to me about recovery and being an athlete and recovery. Like, for many, many years, I played multiple sports. I played volleyball, I played basketball, and I threw shot and disc. But mostly I did volleyball and basketball. With continuous wear and tear on your body and you not taking time to heal yourself, there have been times where I know for a fact in a basketball game, I have injured myself, and because it was something going on in the game, or the game was at a pivotal mark, I will go in the locker room and take some Aleve, or I would take some Aleve or some Tylenol or something during the game, during halftime, after I knew that I hurt myself. And instead of sitting down, I took pain pills to kind of alleviate the pain and play through it, when knowing that I was injured, or I had re-injured an injury I already had, instead of sitting out. And now, like, in this age that I'm at now, like, I still have pain in my knees because I didn't necessarily take care of myself and ice myself and recuperate the way I needed to. And that's why I'm kind of like on this whole like wellness journey of treating my body better now that I'm entering into my 30s versus how I treated myself when I was a teenager and in my younger 20s. Like, it's just things that you have to do to take care of yourself. And what I'm saying is, with Thea and with even athletes I watch on TV that play professional sports, like, I always tell DJ, especially when a player gets a concussion, or DJ is my husband, or when a player gets a concussion, or when a player, twists their ankle, twists their knee, if anything is dislocated, I understand that your team depends on you. I understand that, it's a high moment. But them moments that you go through now could shape what happens in the future. And Thea may have torn her rotator cuff, yes, but with proper rehabilitation, icing, massages, therapy, rehab, her shoulder could come back stronger than ever if she just give it time. And honestly and truthfully, they say 6 to 10 weeks, but with a shoulder injury, you need your shoulder every day. You need your shoulder more than just, you need to use your shoulder with more than just swinging a racket. You need your shoulder in everyday life. And if your shoulder is messed up now and it could heal now in your younger age versus, later in life when you still dealing with ailments because of your injury, that's a big deal. And I tell my husband all the time, like, them few seconds or them few weeks or them few months with that injury versus years and years of your life left is not worth the risk. And Thea is risking her chances of playing tennis later in the future. She want to be a pro athlete. Who knows what could happen if she becomes one? But it's just a simple fact that, like, she's rushing her healing process. She's not letting her shoulder get to 100%. Then she's taking cortisone shots. And honestly, when people get cortisone injections, they don't get cortisone injections on a weekly basis. They don't get cortisone injections on a bi-weekly basis. They sometimes get them on a quarterly basis, maybe a twice a year basis. But taking them frequently like that, no ma'am. That can cause even more damage and, hinder the healing process of your shoulder, which again is a main joint in your body. I mean, people, I know that I'm saying all over the place, but like literally, like I learned this from personal experience, and I learned this from sports medicine. Like, it just is what it is. Like, you have to take care of yourself. You have to give your body time to heal. You can't just be out here just taking things all willy-nilly. And then think about it, how she was swinging that racket on when they was it wasn't Black Joy Day. It was that day when they was all on the tennis courts and they was playing, or she was throwing them balls. Remember they was playing dodgeball, she was throwing them balls all real hard and stuff like that. And that man was giving that girl steroids. And that's just my theory, period. Like, I want to know what y'all think. What do y'all think? Because cortisone ain't gonna come up as no banned substance. So she had to be taking something else. And I saw some people saying that they think Tootie had something to do with it. I know Tootie hated Simone and everything, or she was giving Simone grief. But at the same time, Tootie didn't know anything about Thea taking the shots. Because if she did, I'm thinking we would have known by now, 7 episodes in. We would have seen Tootie around. But Tootie had, as of right now, to us, to the viewer, Tootie has nothing to do with the shots. She don't know anything about Thea's recuperation. And from what I can see, in the beginning, Tootie didn't even care about Thea. She was just like, Thea hurt now. I'm top dog. What's up? And I'm doing anything to stay on top. That's the vibe Tootie was giving me. That's the only reason why I do not think Tootie had anything to do with switching Simone's P. Because if she did switch Simone's P, they didn't tell us nothing about Tootie or anybody else, or show us anybody else doing any type of substance on the team besides Thea. So I don't think Tootie would know to switch P or to frame Simone with anything like that. So yeah, y'all, those are just my thoughts. Let me know what y'all think. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll be back with more videos. I'm thinking I'm going to do what I think will happen next. Or maybe I might do what I think will happen next based off of the trailer they gave us for when the show comes back on TV. But we do have a date. The show will be returning January 23rd. So stay tuned for that. And I'll be back with more reviews. Deuces.